Frosty versus Nadeshot, the drama of the year, with Frosty saying 100 Thieves didn't give them what they needed to succeed. And Nadeshot came back with receipts talking about how much 100 Thieves tried to push the mob to be better, to grow in content, and that they just didn't want to put in the work. And it seems like this argument and this kind of all beef is one-sided, and it's in Nadeshot's favor. So the tweets from Frosty that kicked all of this off were these right here, saying, the former mob member Frosty spoken up a lot about his past with 100 Thieves, saying they were paid less than what their rent was. 100 T took 95% of sponsorship deals that they brought to the mob, and money being a real issue for the guys. So this whole 95% thing too, he's super harping on this because he says it was 95%. Nadeshot said it was 85%, and that's what he's sticking to, is saying it's 85, like that's any better. But what is actually the percent that happened is 2 out of the 3 deals. So 100 Thieves brought the mob 3 sponsorship deals. 2 of them, the mob kept 65%. So that means 100 Thieves only kept 35%, even though they could have taken 85% because that was the contract. So that kind of shows already that 100 Thieves was trying to get these guys more money, trying to get them more, maybe more motivated if they weren't working, trying to show them what they can do, bring in that cash flow, and just have them realize, like, wow, let's start doing this stuff. But they ultimately didn't ever really start doing anything. You can see this him talking about the $2,500 each in rent a month, only getting paid $1,650. So that's after taxes. So they're getting paid $2,500 per member each. There's 4 members, so they were getting paid $10,000 a month, and the rent was $10,000 a month. So not the situation you want to be in. You don't spend all of your money on rent. And it was their choice to get that house. They should have gotten a more affordable one, which is funny because that's the point that he harps on too, is saying there was just no way we could get a house for less than $10,000 a month where we would be where Nadeshot wanted us to be. But then on his own stream, he pulls this up, saying, there are no other options. We had to get this house. He pulls this up on Zillow for rent, and then immediately there's all these options for less than $10,000 a month that he could have gotten, that they could have went with, and it would have been perfectly fine. You look at these options. This is a house, full house for rent, because he talks about these are apartments. He skips over the houses right here, both of them under $10,000 a month. Then he goes straight to the apartment saying, well, we couldn't possibly live in an apartment. What do you mean? Why can't you live in an apartment? If you want to do this, if you want to grind out this kind of content game with 100 Thieves, if you really want it, you can do it in an apartment. Even if you say there's no possible way you could have done it in an apartment, there's 2 houses right here that are both under 10K, $5,500 a month. You basically could have gotten cut in half your rent, cut it in half, and still gotten a house. And this 85, closer to 10K, still under. And this also, another house for $6,500 a month. So there's definitely options that you could have tried to go. They said they spent 2 months making this decision on a house. So if in 10 seconds you could have pulled up Zillow and had options that weren't $10,000 a month, I mean, over 2 months, you probably could have found something that was not $10,000 per month. On top of that, the market now is way more wild than it was in 2019 when they did this, or when they originally did this. So you could probably have even more options for less than $10,000 a month. And then second tweet, imagine if we had enough money to where we didn't have to stress over where our next meal was coming from. Could have done some big things, but I guess we'll never know. And wouldn't you know it, this is what his room looks like in the mob house. That definitely looks like someone who's wondering, where's my next meal coming? That is a room that says, I have to skip meals and never eat. This is definitely a room that screams that. And even on top of that, he deleted this tweet you can see right here, but this tweet was basically Frosty saying, only $60K a year in LA. I mean, you were getting paid $60,000 a year to do nothing. You were supposed to be creating content, but that $60K was a salary on top of whatever you could bring in doing your job, and you just didn't do your job. You can see all these people replying to that because saying that is just crazy. Saying only 60K a year. I mean, that's the average salary. That's what the vast majority of people make every year. So you can't really complain about that. And on top of that, you're getting paid that to do what the vast majority of people would say is a dream job. You can't have it both ways and say you're not getting paid enough, but you're doing a dream job. So most people don't get paid at all and do this job. So, I mean, how can you complain? And I guess he realized he was wrong because he deleted the tweet, and everyone who was talking back to this was talking about how, they, like, Maven made less than that when he first signed with MLG. Aches made 10% of that after basically winning every event in BO2 and was contracted at $500 a month. So you can't cry that you're not making money to the people who made it in this scene, who didn't make money, but grinded and made content and did all this stuff, and you know their names now because of the work that they put in before. And on top of that, you say he's getting paid to make content. Let's quickly look at his YouTube channel. If he's getting paid 60K a year to make content, you'd probably think he's got to have some videos on YouTube and be pushing out stuff because he's getting paid to do that, so he should have that. So let's look at his YouTube channel, and there's no videos. So you literally got paid $60,000 to do what? Stream 40 hours a month and make no YouTube videos? That doesn't make sense. You said you couldn't stream 40 hours a month, or say 40 hours a month is what you streamed. People work 40 hours a week. You can't complain about getting paid $60,000 and working 40 hours a month. That doesn't make sense. People work 40 hours a week to make 60K a year. Most of the time, more than 40 hours a week to try and make that. So it's just, he put himself in a very bad spot because nobody has pity for a content creator getting a salary and not making content. And Nadeshot points this out.
And I don't want to bring the other individuals that are a part of the mob into this, but the proof is in the pudding, guys. I had thought that we were giving them a big opportunity. Okay, from individuals that were averaging just a couple hundred viewers, if not lower some days, having them be a part of a tier 1 organization like 100 Thieves. I thought, on top of the fact that we brought them out to LA and we moved 4 best friends into a home together, I thought that this could only be productive. This could only be, the perfect situation and scenario for all of these guys. They didn't work. They didn't make videos. They didn't stream. They got here, and we'll never know why it is that it panned out the way that it did. But if you really want to go look at stats, and you really want to look at the work that was done while we're bringing these deals in, while we're paying these salaries, and while we're supporting them as much as we can with the employees that we have, the resources that we've created for ourselves, and the platform that we have built along with our community, that mentality that we had back in the day where you eat what you kill, they weren't uploading.
That's a big problem. If you get paid to make content and you're not making content, I mean, what's the point? You're not doing your job. Any other real job, you would be fired. If you're not doing your job, they'll find someone who will do your job. So he's not making much sense. Didn't put the work in. Didn't take advantage of the opportunity 100 Thieves gave them and allowed them to go out and get paid to do the content. They just didn't take advantage of the opportunity. They fumbled the bag, and, nobody really feels bad for them. And these two clips show the difference between Nadeshot, somebody who wanted it, put in that work, and was going to succeed, and somebody who thinks they want it, but didn't really want to do the work that it takes to succeed.
Why the fuck, if we're broke as shit, why would we spend all that time and energy uploading YouTube videos?
And so that's why we're up every single day in the master bedroom of the content house, stacked 5 heads deep on fold out tables and chairs, streaming 12 hours a day. You finish your stream, you get off, you upload a YouTube video, you go to sleep, you wake up, you do it again. Every fucking day. Every day. Because I wasn't going back to fucking McDonald's and I wasn't going back to community college.
I think the caption for this makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're saying, why, if we're broke, why would I upload YouTube videos? That 60K was a base salary. If you uploaded YouTube videos, every dollar you made from YouTube, you kept. 100 Thieves wasn't taking a cut of your social media income. Every dollar you made on YouTube, every dollar you made on Twitch, you kept 100% of. Nadeshot already said that. So that's just the massive difference in mentality of, if I'm broke, why should I upload? Why should 100 Thieves pay you if you're not going to upload? But I'm going to leave the video off on this clip because, yeah, this just sums up Frosty's side pretty well. And it is definitely, I don't think anyone can really side with Frosty and say Nadeshot 100 Thieves were definitely 100% in the wrong.
Literally provided no proof. Bro, because for me to provide proof, like, what is there to provide proof of? Like, why would I be lying?